Okay, here we go. It's going to be exciting. This class is called College and Career Awareness. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago it was called CTE Intro, Career and Technical Education Introduction, and I went to this big statewide meeting thing, and they introduced us to a new class that we're going to be teaching, a rewrite of the previous class called College and Career Awareness. And I thought to myself, seriously, for 7th and 8th graders, can you think of a more boring name than College and Career Awareness? Doesn't that just sound like a boring class?
Yeah.
That's just like the worst name for a class. But you know, and then while I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is a kind of boring name, Mr. Ray, who is the teacher next door, some of you know, he pointed to the first letter of every word here. So college and career awareness. He just took his pencil and pointed to it, and we both realized at the same time that we were going to be teaching Kaka.
Oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kaka.
Oh.
I'm your teacher, Mr. P. And we're going to learn about lots of interesting things.
Oh, God.
True story. I know, right? Okay, well, I guess they use this ampersand to hide it, but this class is taught by 3 teachers in Granite Park. I get you for a quarter of the year. Ms. Beard gets you for a quarter of the year. Mr. Rady gets you for half the year. So, your schedule looked like one of 2. Raise your hand if you had Mr. Rady last semester. Okay, excellent. Raise your hand if you have Mr. Rady this semester right now. So your guys' your schedule looks like this, where you're actually taking all of CCA the second half of the year. Regardless, you're getting a year-long class between all 3 teachers. And this is my section right here. So, what do we do in this class? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. One of the big things that we're going to do is we're going to talk about your future options. We're going to talk about the kinds of things you might want to do in life. Now, as I've talked to many Granite Park students, typically they give me one of 3 answers. I say, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they say, I want to be a doctor. And I say, oh, that's interesting. Why do you want to be a doctor? Because they make a lot of money. Oh, okay. I say, so what do you want to be? And they say, I'd like to be a lawyer. Huh? Why would you like to be a lawyer? They make a lot of money. Oh, apparently, people like money. And then there's one more group of people. And I'll ask them, I'll say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they say, I want to be a professional soccer player. I say, why? Because I like soccer. Which is fine. Soccer players are cool, right? Professional sports, right? I mean, people who get in there, you know, make some pretty good money. That's pretty cool. You actually you're more likely to get struck by lightning than to actually get into professional sports. But there are those people that go and, you know, they get into it. If you are seriously interested in professional sports, can I please suggest that you be a part of as many teams as you can and that you play all the time. You are going to compete with people that have been playing that game their entire life. There's actually a whole high school, like over in Harriman, dedicated to teaching people soccer.
I've heard of that before.
Right? There's
the RSL Academy.
Yeah, I have a niece that goes there, and it's all about soccer. They fly over England. She went to Spain. They play soccer all these places, and it's about soccer, 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 soccer. Now, if you're in one of those groups, hopefully it's a little easier to get into professional soccer, but still, it's a tough thing to get into. So it's a good idea to have some options or some ideas of different things you might want to do. Maybe soccer's one of them. What's another option or something you think might be an interesting job when you're older? If you don't choose your job will choose you. Raise your hand if you know someone, anyone, that doesn't like the job they have. I think most of us know somebody that doesn't really like their job. And it's probably, some of the time, it's because they didn't get to choose it. The job chose them. If you get out of high school and just try and find a job somewhere, yeah, you're going to end up working at the mall, in the Gap store, or you're going to end up working at McDonald's, or you'll end up working, you know, in some restaurant, or doing something, but you don't really get to choose your job. You just have to go with the job that's open. But if you want to choose one of those cool careers that's out there, you got to plan for it. And part of this class's job is to help you plan for that. What I'd like you to do now is